Welcome to the Rasslecast Power Hour. I am one of your tag team hosts, B Hyphen. But without further ado, as always, I like to toss it over to my tag team partner, the man from Detroit, Handsome Bane. How are you tonight, sir?
Thank you, my friend, for such a warm welcome.
Yeah, I do what I can.
So normally I come out here and I chastise the marks for being sweaty, filthy marks, and being perverts and all that, and just being generally bad people, which you all are, and it's fine. However, this week I can count myself in your ranks. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Bianca Belair, Montez Ford, leak the sex tape already. Just do it. I'm sick of watching you two be all lovey-dovey and all sexy and fine with all your rippling muscles, and you know what I'm saying? Both of you. I'm sick of it. So however it's got to get out there, put it out there. Just do it already. For Christ's sakes, just do it.
Okay. So we have one vote for Bianca and Montez to drop the sex tape. Okay.
Only one?
No, I'm there with you, bro.
I
got your back. I got your back.
Do that to me, dog.
I got your back.
I wouldn't even okay. But I wouldn't even be at first I don't think I would be aroused. I would just be astounded, like, yo, look at all those lines.
It would be
those are two
high
human
definition,
beings.
literally.
Look at these two. These are supposed to be human beings. Their bedroom is Mount Olympus. These are like what? Okay, I would forget to get wood at that point. But yeah, well, sure, whatever. It's better than you guys looking up pictures of Alexa Bliss's feet.
And that is how you start out. The best wrestling podcast ever was, the best podcast or wrestling podcast ever will be, and the best podcast ever. I messed that whole up. I'm going to say it again. That is how you start. The best wrestling podcast there is, the best wrestling. One more time. That is how you start. The best wrestling podcast there ever was, the best wrestling podcast there ever will be, and the best. What did I miss?
You are dicking it up.
I am.
Look.
Best there was, the best there is. One more time with Brett in my face. That is how you start. He's
bowing his head in shame.
The best wrestling podcast there is, the best podcast there was, and the best wrestling podcast there ever will be. We're going to take it.
There you go. All right.
Still jacked it up.
I'm
sorry, Brett. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep it all. You know me. I don't like to edit.
I mean, we're close personal friends, Brett and I.
Oh, I know.
And he called me on my birthday.
He totally did. Tim saw a little snippet of it. Oh, wait, Tim's here. We got to introduce the guest.
I'm trying to be silent until you introduce me. I don't want to be like, hey, here I am.
You're probably one of the most politest guests we've had, because most people be on here making noise.
We were rambling.
Yeah, I love how the episode with me kicks off with a plea for the most athletic sex tape of all time.
That would be incredible.
And then a major disappointment to Bret Hart.
Well, I mean that's we just cover all the ranges
from the hip, baby. Let's go.
Exactly.
I don't know.
In case you don't know who that is my homie, No Name Tim. Tim is a producer extraordinaire, and he has produced music for all kinds of great artists, including Kofi. Is that his name? He goes by.
Kofi,
yeah.
Yes.
Is he part of the OVO family officially, or just kind of like he works?
He's OVO affiliated, maybe. He's
okay.
He's friends with the Owls.
Okay.
We'll say.
He knows a certain certified lover boy. Let's say that. And then he also just drops dope beats all the time on his YouTube page and on his BeatStars page. So go check him out. He has very fair prices, and he's just dope, man. And on top of all that, and plug, he was on my podcast Hyphen Nation a few months ago. So go check that out.
Truth.
Yeah. He loves wrestling. And I told him on Hyphen Nation, we have to have you on the wrestling podcast don't listen to it until I get you on the wrestling podcast because I wanted it to be a full ride for him. So Tim, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Back in Columbus, fresh off of a trip to Chicago in the greater Chicago area.
Oh man, what did you do in Chicago?
Hey, what happened in Chicago?
Oh, not much. Ate some good food.
Nice.
Hung out with the wife.
Aw.
Did some casual walking around. Ended up at a wrestling show out at Hoffman Estates. What was the name of that one?
Was it? It wasn't all out, was it?
It was. Oh yeah, that's what it was. It was All Out. I was at All Out last week.
You suck. How about that?
Super Bowl Saturday.
Yeah. So I'm fresh back from that, man. I'm just working on some things. I'm headed back out to Toronto in about a week to
nice.
work with Kofi. But beforehand, I've got to get some new entrance themes done for some certain friends of mine before I head out there because they're gonna need them for a certain thing coming up in the certain promotion that they wrestle in.
Wait a minute.
Wow. It wouldn't be like that NJPW that's on your sweatshirt.
It might be. It might not be.
Oh yeah,
it might be for that tournament that they have coming up. It might not be. I'm just saying.
You kind of produced the G.O.D entrance music too, didn't you?
I kind of did do that. Yes, I did. So yeah, I gotta get some things done before I head to Toronto. But actually, one's done already approved at least by the talent. I don't know what New Japan has said or not said yet. They
said yes.
They usually drag their feet on the business end of things, but I mean, kind of expected. But yeah, so that's kind of what my world's looking like right now.
Very cool.
So
man.
wait, which God theme is it? Because
Firing Squad, the current one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very good song to lift weights to.
Why, thank you. I have been told that before. Yes.
You've never lifted to your own beats?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
about to
Firing
say.
Squad's on a playlist. Are you kidding me? Yeah. But I mean, I've been told by others over the course of the past few years.
You and Bane could totally be clanging and banging in the gym while I eat some chips.
Yes, I'll get messages like, "This is my PR song."
Nice.
Like from people
for real.
on Twitter, wherever, they'll hit me up like, "Yo, I hit a new deadlift PR to this," and I like whenever I'm going for PR,
So
this is what I put
you,
on.
buddy.
And I'm like, man, that's so dope to me. Like that's just the coolest.
That's very
like
cool.
you guys are the coolest.
Oh,
Love it.
you're so sweet. You're such a face. You're way more of a face than I am. I'm supposed to be the face.
I well, like when I'm a guest on things, I'll play face, but like, man, I'm a heel at heart. We all know heels have more fun anyway.
Absolutely. So. Cyndi Lauper said
No
that
doubt.
in the original version of the song. Did you know that?
Whatever it was that she said. Yeah.
It was just heels just want to have fun, and they're like, Cyndi, no one knows what a heel is, and she's like, oh, okay, let's change it to girls.
she would know around that time because that was definitely WrestleMania one time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
1984, sir.
Yeah, I was just listening to a podcast where they were talking about, I don't know, we have to get into this, but it's called Punch Up the Jam, so free plug to those guys because the podcast is really good.
You're welcome.
They take any song. Well, they don't take any song. They take a song and they see if like they could punch it up a little bit in one way or another. So
okay.
I think Time After Time came up as one of the songs they were trying to, can we punch this up? And I think at the end they were like, no, it is an unpunchable jam. So
it's kind of perfect.
If the song is perfect, they say it's unpunchable.
Yeah,
I love that.
And then they don't remix it. So yeah, punch up the jam since we have a music guy on the show.
Okay, cool.
Love that.
So Tim, how
Yes,
did
sir.
you get into the world of professional wrestling?
Oh man.
I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, it's kind of hard for me to pinpoint like an exact like moment where it was like, okay, I'm into this now. Because it was kind of a gradual thing. Like I remember, I was born in '84 to date myself a little. So
You're amongst
early
old heads. It's okay.
yeah. So
that's fine.
early '90s. I was familiar with Hogan. I was familiar with $1 Million Man. I was familiar with Jake Roberts. I was familiar with Flair. I was familiar with all these guys, but I wasn't really watching at that point.
Yeah.
The first, I want to say the first like memories I have of actually watching was probably WrestleMania 12.
Oh wow.
Okay.
I want to say that was like the first time I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then it kind of started me checking it out every once in a while, that sort of thing. But then whenever Hall and Nash jumped over to WCW, that was when I was like more consistently like,
that was a nexus point in wrestling.
Exactly. I was like, this is cool. Point. Like, this is different. I don't know. It was the intriguing part, right? It was like, because back, like, I couldn't hop on the internet, see what was going on. Like,
you didn't have time to dial up, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you see these two guys, they're over here, you don't really know what they're doing, it just kind of pulled me in, like, because I was.
You want a war?
Yeah, you want a war? I wanted to see what was going on. So I really started watching WCW more consistently than I did the WWF product at the time. But it was at that time so Nitro started at 8, right?
Yes.
So they had that first hour
jump. Yeah.
That I was just like all in watching that. Boom. And then, 9:00 comes around, I would switch over to USA or whatever. I think it was on USA at the time.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was USA.
I would switch over. And then I would watch the opening segment of Raw,
which was always fire. Always
crazy. I would see what was going on for the night. They
Brian Pillman's got a gun. Like,
I was like, oh shit, can't miss this. Brian Pillman might kill a guy. So I would check out the top segment of Raw and then just kind of base my back and forth off of what was going on any given night, right? So that was it was that way for a while. But then I remember after WrestleMania 14, when Shawn dropped the belt to Austin, that was kind of the switch where I started to kind of lean more towards WWF and what they were doing.
Okay.
So that was, I was kind of slowly going. Doesn't mean I wasn't watching WCW as much.
It was still very watchable.
It was still very watchable at that moment.
I was still taping it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. So it was still going back and forth, but I started leaning more towards WWF at that point.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of my how I gradually got into it. And then afterwards there were ups and downs, times where I wasn't watching. I can, pinpoint a couple of those, and then but now for the past however many years it's been, I've been kind of back into it. So
yeah, I don't know how it is, like, if because some people stop watching it and stay away, and it's like I don't know.
He's never stopped watching. He's been faithful.
No, I did. I want to say like 99. Well, when I got to college,
okay. We all dropped off at college.
It was the same for me.
Girls, alcohol. Yeah, you can't always watch wrestling and do those.
I was ripping and running, man. Like I didn't have time to see. I was like, man, yeah, Stone Cold. That's what's up. Hey, man, hey. All right, I'll check in with y'all later. Not check in with them later. I was fucking.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's like, why does wrestling have to fall off because I'm sexually active now? But that's kind of what happened.
It's because we like, once we start being sexually active, so to speak, especially in college and stuff, you're fresh out of high school. It's like you don't want to be sexually active and then be like, you get that call on Monday night. It'd be like 9:00 and you're tuned in. And it's like, hey, you want to come over? You'd be like, can you wait till 11 and I'll be over? You couldn't do that then. Now, if I was who I am today back then I would probably be like, I'm going to watch this wrestling real quick and then I'll see what you up to later. I'm more comfortable in my skin now. But 19, 20-year-old Kellen is not going to is not going to be watching wrestling and let you hang out by yourself if he gets the invite. Okay.
You guys are crazy. I was fucking still watching wrestling. It just got to a point where I didn't have cable at the crib and I couldn't tune in.
I think
and
that's
then
what
I just kind of like stopped watching for like a period of however many years.
I think that is what happened. And then, well, because we had these guys down the hall and they were just having, there was one guy who just remained, he just held on to his childlike innocence for as long as he could. And
God bless that guy.
He would get he was like the oddest fellow. And then you like met him. He was actually odder than you thought, but was like, fuck it. I love him. I love this guy because he's just comfortable enough in his skin to be this weird, you know?
Yeah.
And so shout out to Mike Body. You're never coming on the show, but I love you, dog. I love you.
Oh, wow.
Fucking weirdo though. And just, you know, it was just, I mean, I could go on and on about Mike Body, but suffice it to say, he was playing No Mercy.
Classic.
And the cops came to our door. Well, it was their room. The cops came to the door because they said, is there some kind of domestic dispute going on up here? Because we got a call from the people either upstairs or downstairs that something is going on. And my boy Seth thought about it for a minute. He's like, no, we didn't. And he thought about it. He's like, oh, Mike was playing No Mercy. So, he was that kind of guy when he was playing No Mercy. He said, Mike was playing No Mercy, and he makes a lot of noise.
Right.
So that is precisely what happened.
Love that. I was just playing No Mercy the other day, like last week.
It holds up so well. It's
such
crazy,
a perfect
right?
game.
So much fun.
They took all the stuff that we thought they couldn't improve on from like Revenge. And they were like, yeah, no, we can make it better than that.
We got that.
And they did.
Yeah, no. We can step that up.
I should have known about wrestling that I would be back, though, because one time I went into my old buddy, his name's Steve Fortino. I went in there with another friend of mine named Jacob. We were in the room chilling, and he was playing emulators. First time I'd seen computer, like NES emulators and stuff. He's playing on computer. I'm like, yo, you're playing whatever you want on the computer? That's awesome. So I was like focused on that. But then over here, he had on Raw. And I peeked over there, and I was like locked in, and I was like,
hello, wrestling,
I was completely,
my old friend.
exactly.
Come back over here. You know you want to.
Yeah, man. It was 2002, so there was still some good stuff happening, but
it was impossible. It is impossible to watch pretty much any wrestling promotion really, and not like pay attention to it until they go to commercial at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you put on anything, like I love NWA, and if it was like an NWA segment, I'm gonna watch it until the commercial comes on, and maybe I'll stay or maybe I'll leave, but I'm not going to. I've never been turned off by wrestling stuff, even when it's bad. Even though me as a mark, knowing what good wrestling is, I still watch every segment I start. I very rarely change the channel on something.
You gotta see it through, my boy.
Yeah, you want to see where it's going.
Katie Vick is what I changed. Yeah, Katie Vick. I changed the channel because I was like, okay, y'all.
Like, nah, not okay with this.
Okay, guys, come on. That
was the line. Understandable.
You're
a man of morals, despite being the heel. It's fine.
I mean, the thing about heels. Here's a little thing behind the curtain, y'all. Good thing about a good heel is that you gotta feel like you are the good guy.
It's true.
Every great heel has a point. Now, if I just come out here and I say I won't come out here, I'm gonna blow up the world, man. I'm gonna take over Earth. That ain't realistic, baby. Like, what are you gonna do? Then you still gotta govern everything. Even if you take over the world, you think everybody's gonna crush under your heel? Hell no, man. You come over to America, man, we got 2 guns for every person, brother. We ain't going without a fight, brother. Like, it's annoying. You can have the best death ray in the game. One of us is going to come at you. Like a tornado made out of hands, feet, and guns.
Okay.
That's a visual.
That's
right
a hell of
there.
an analogy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah, Bane was making all kinds of sense in that fucking movie. Dog. Bane had bars.
Yeah, he did. The no lie about that. So we got the intro. I can't wait anymore. Tim, how in the world did you? I mean, obviously you bought tickets, I assume, and
Yes.
I'm going to assume you bought tickets just because
I
it'll
did,
make
I
me
did.
feel better.
Yes, I bought tickets. I was not gifted tickets to this event. No.
So you,
Unlike novelists who fucking, because there's a big fucking big shot, he can just stroll up into Wrestle Kingdom on the free. But okay, whatever.
I mean,
jerk.
that's super nice. Shout out to Nav, man. Shout out to Nav.
Jerk.
So you go to All Out.
Yeah.
And people are saying on the internet, have you heard of this thing called the internet, guys?
Yes.
People are saying
new.
it is
Familiar.
the best wrestling pay-per-view since WrestleMania 17. That's what people are saying.
They
Tim,
are.
your opinion on that, and then would you like to share a little bit about All Out with us? Or a lot of it, whatever you want.
Yeah, we can dive deep. I 100% agree with that opinion.
Damn.
And I mean, I wasn't at WrestleMania 17 or WrestleMania X7.
X7,
We want
damn
to
it.
get real.
It's
Yeah,
X7, damn it.
So I wasn't there, but I was at All Out. And what I can tell you is that it is hands down, not even close. I've been to a lot of sporting events, concerts, just overall, similar type things, wrestling shows, pay-per-views, house shows, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It is hands down the greatest event experience I've ever been a part of. It was,
incredible.
I mean, I lost my shit in the Garden whenever I heard the theme I did for G.O.D. live for the first time, right? Like that singular moment was incredible. And that show top to bottom was incredible as well. But this All Out pay-per-view was, I wish I could have bottled up the energy in that arena so I could show it to people and to fully explain what it was like the video, I watched it. I watched the replay of it the next day. And I'm like, man, yeah, you can feel this energy, but it's not nearly the same. You can watch the videos that people took in the crowd and it's just, you feel it a little more, but it's just not the same. Every single match from beginning to end, top to bottom, every single person, I'm not talking the majority of the arena, every single person in that arena was invested in what was going on. From the wrestlers themselves to the wrestling going on to the storytelling, every match from beginning to end, there was no lull in energy. It was just, I mean, the pop Eddie Kingston got.
Yeah.
When Eddie came out, it was, I mean, if you go probably Danielson, Cole, and you could kind of interchange them for different reasons. I'll tell you in a second. But Suzuki got a huge pop too when he showed up.
Sure.
I marked out hard for that one.
I fully expected Brian and Cole to show up on the show, I expected them there soon enough, one way or the other. So when they came out, I was like, there we go. And the fact that they were so greedily giving them both of us, I mean, they were giving us both of them. It was just like, wow, really? This is wow. This is, it's like a Marvel after credits, God damn,
and that's kind of what it felt like, right?
Yeah.
So before I jump into them, going back to Eddie, Eddie's pop was crazy. Eddie was so over in that building. Eddie might have been the most over person on that roster that night. I'm talking from beginning of from him coming out for the entire match and even post match. You couldn't hear it on the replay. He was getting Eddie chanted at him for another minute as he was walking off, and they were showing video packages. Wow. It was until he was gone, and they didn't do that for anybody else. It was unbelievable. So But with going back to Cole and Danielson, so we all kind of, Danielson was kind of almost like a guarantee. We were all looking at it that way. Even the guys I talked to in the arena, it's like, okay, he's going to be here. Cole was kind of the uncertainty, but a lot of people were still like, I think he's going to be there. So when Omega's doing his little post-match promo, and then he drops the, you know, anybody that can take this belt from me either isn't here, is retired, or is already dead. You know, if you're a watcher of BTE, you know that's kind of a reference to Cole getting killed off and all that kind of thing. Yeah. So lights go out. I'm thinking, holy shit, it's gonna be Adam Cole. And then when Cole's name hit on the screens, it was a collective like, oh shit, it actually happened. Like we're getting like Adam Cole is here.
We're getting this right now. We knew we were getting this. Nobody right now.
You kind of thought maybe, but nobody was for sure. So you got that oh shit pop, like this actually happened, right?
He was just on TV.
I was getting ready to say like he was on there Tuesday, right?
He was just on NXT, bro.
It seemed like a kind of like wishful thinking thing. And when he did that Adam Cole baby, I yelled it I was so high. I yelled it so loud my voice cracked. And it was just like boom, right in your ears everywhere. It's crazy. Right? Oh, I marked out. I marked out. I marked out hard, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. So you were just in it. It was almost just like muscle memory. Like you just there was no thinking about anything. It was just legit instant, just body reacting to stuff at that point. So Cole comes out instant, heel turn, joins Elite. And then when you hear Ride of the Valkyries at the start, it was everybody turns and everybody knew you were getting it, right?
Yeah.
So that initial was like, oh shit, everybody, it was kind of loud, but when it showed Bryan Danielson on the screen and he walked out right at that point, when I tell you, the building shook, it was literally shaking. The energy was so crazy
because it could have very easily been a fake out.
Yeah,
it could have been like you weren't. You thought you were getting him though, but it was just such a like, oh shit, he's here, and it's arguably the best bell-to-bell in-ring performer of all time. And here he is back to doing what he does best. And it was just this release of just total energy. And you would think that like the Cole pop would have been the one, and like everybody, oh okay, like oh he's here, but we're all kind of spent from that. No, it was just like this elevation of things. It was insane.
How about when those drums dropped on Ride of the Valkyries?
Right, though? That trap of the flight of the
shoot. I was like,
and I saw people like kind of like, oh, I don't know about this. Go to a show where that plays. That shit, it just brings extra energy to it. It's like you don't like when you hear it live, you'll be like, even if you're kind of iffy about it, you hear it live, you're gonna be like, okay, I get it now.
Guys, let's have this quick conversation, guys, that you don't really care about Flight of the Valkyries. I assure you, if the guy who made Flight of the Valkyries came out and was like, that shit was lit. I don't know who did it. I don't even know if they speak English.
Came back from the grave.
Just came out. I like that trap version of that shit was lit. And then they just died again. Whatever, dog. Like it doesn't bother you. They just blacked it up a little bit. And I know that you guys are uncomfortable with change.
Right. But I'm here to tell you,
the song is fine.
Shit slaps. Right. And it adds a whole other bit of energy in the arena that is just it. You just got to experience it, man. But yeah, it was All Out was incredible. And, those are the main talking points that people have been kind of driving home in that. But top to bottom on the card, everybody delivered. Every match was just a joy to watch.
And Ruby Soho, good for fucking.
I know, man. Shout out to Ruby, man. I love Ruby.
That was another one where everybody was just so excited. And everybody was just happy to see her. right? And she was so happy to be there that it came through. You were like, man, shout out to this girl. Like,
because that shit is so good for her. Senseless. Like,
right?
The career that she had, it was just so senseless, bro. Like, it's like, okay, she's obvious. Whatever, dog. Whatever.
She should have been pushed to the moon, and they just didn't do that. We are doing positive
thoughts,
but I had to go ahead and get that out there. She deserves so much more.
To be blonde with big bazoombas. You gotta be Sable. I wish Sable.
Bring back
Sable was young.
Somebody clone Sable.
All right.
Don't forget
but yeah, shout out to Ruby. I mean, hell, CM Punk had his first match in over 7 years.
And it was good.
By the way.
It was
good. It was good.
Is it his first match, though? Has he been wrestling on the independents under a mask?
He did a few times.
He had to. I mean, if not, he had a lot of training matches to kind of shake that ring rust.
He goes out there with all the tattoos.
It just wasn't there. The ring rust wasn't there. And he was in the ring with Darby, who you knew Darby was going to bump crazy for him.
Yes, he did.
You know, and you knew he was in there with a smaller guy.
Yep.
So he was able to kind of it made all the sense in the world for that to be his first match back, and the two of them just killed it. It was fantastic.
Man. I hope he goes back to the trunks. I know his legs probably ain't what he wants them to be, but he needs to put the trunks back on.
I don't mind the Bretts. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't mind them as much because it initially was kind of jarring, right?
Yeah.
But now I'm like, okay, this is the AEW CM Punk. This is the new CM Punk.
And he might have been thinking that too.
Maybe it changes a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe he goes back. Maybe he doesn't. But for the time, my initial thoughts were kind of the same. Like, oh man, why isn't he? But you know, it's kind of if it shows evolution and we can kind of like mark it in as that, then I'm cool.
He's also almost 50, and he does not need to be wearing trunks. So maybe he's just like, I'm a grown man.
Yeah, Orton also wishes that he hadn't started out in trunks, because now he's like pigeonholed into like wearing trunks and stuff. He's like, I'm not a body guy anymore.
Randy kills me though, man, because every time Randy goes away for a little bit, Randy comes back, he looks ripped. Like when he came back with his pirate look and stuff, Randy looked like
on that juice.
Right. Well, there it is. But then once he's been wrestling for a little while, then that pudge starts coming back.
That burger.
Because he's back off the juice to pass the drug test. It's a cycle, man.
You're right.
It's so funny.
I be forgetting about his trouble pass. You're absolutely right.
I'll look at Randy. Anytime he would come back, I'd look at my wife and be like, he's been juicing again. She's like, oh yeah, I can tell. And then slowly, like, oh, he looks more normal now. Right. Oh yeah, it's because he's had to cycle back off. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but I'm just saying I've been around a lot of guys who've partaken and there are telltale signs. So,
wow. Well,
yeah,
man, I'm so jealous.
And I just a quick note about Punk. The interview immediately after where he puts everybody over.
Because he's CM Punk and he's dope.
Take note. You know, like you want to put the entire locker room over, and then you bury him by saying you're better than all of them. You know, you talk about how great they are, and then you use that as your catapult to talk about yourself. That's another. You know, that's just what some would do in the business. You know, if you're doing your heel work, you know, you want to go in there, you want to rake the eyes, you know. You want to go in there in a suit, Armani preferably, and you want to go in there. You want to talk about how everybody back there, all those men back there in that locker room, they're good guys, they're good men, but you're better than all of them.
Beautifully said.
There you go.
I have one last question about AEW before we jump into the gauntlet here, Tim.
Sure.
A lot of people, especially people who've been day one AEW fans, they're like, oh, why are they bringing in all these WWE guys? They're mad about Miro. They're mad about Punk. They're mad about Cole. They're mad about Bryan. Like, and it's just a constant cycle. Anytime they sign anybody, they're mad about Ruby. They're like, what about all the younger guys who aren't going to get a chance now? And blah, blah, blah. Like, obviously, I don't come from that school of thinking. What is your opinion on AEW hiring former wrestlers from WWE as they pass through their gates and become available.
I don't understand why people have the issue with it. You know, it's like you're saying someone can't go work and make a living anywhere else. You know, like I don't get that. You're saying that the brand that you're so loyal to doesn't go out and sign talent from other promotions, which they do,
right?
Which because there's nothing wrong with it. Now, granted, now rumors are saying that that's not their thing and they're going to build their athletes, quote unquote, from the ground up. Okay, that's fine. But I mean, you're saying Adam Cole's an ex-WWE. Adam Cole's a former 3-time Ring of Honor champion who worked in WWE for 4 years. Last time I checked, he's been wrestling for a lot longer than that. So to say he's an ex-WWE guy is bullshit. You look at a guy like Punk. Yes, Punk was very successful in WWE and became more of a household name. Punk is just as much a Ring of Honor guy as any of those other guys, right? You've got Danielson, another guy you mentioned. Yes, big in WWE, but Bryan Danielson is arguably the best independent wrestler ever, period. So you can't just say, oh, because they worked here for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, that they're only ours and that they all came from somewhere before and they all have the right to go somewhere after, whether it's New Japan, AEW, Ring of Honor, NWA, anything like that. I get why you have I almost get why you have take issue with it.
People grew up in a wrestling monopoly, though, so a lot of people don't know how the business was and how it operated. You be in one territory, you go over here, because Vince has wrecked that. Like, not only nowadays or recently the past few years, but I mean that was his MO. He came in, he bought out a bunch of guys in territories, he took talent from all the other territories and centralized it.
And that's where I was getting to, where I understand why you mentally go there with these guys. You think that they are yours and yours only, but you don't understand the great broader world of professional wrestling. And so you can't fault some of them do know better, and it's just being that way to be that way on the internet. But at the end of the day, and I don't think any other AEW fan sees it that way. They're just like, oh yeah, we want to see great professional wrestling, so here we are. Danielson cut a great promo after All Out ended to the crowd, where he was like, the 3 reasons I'm here, one, I'm a professional wrestler and I want to wrestle, so I'm here, and 2, the fans, and all these things where you're like, okay, if you want to wrestle, come here, be here. We'll welcome you. It doesn't matter what promotion you came from.
AEW is the new Death Row.
Love that tie-in. But yeah, so I think it's ridiculous, to answer your question, Hyphen. I think it's insane for people to think that way, but I do understand why people do.
I think people are just so afraid of that because they've seen these wrestlers fail because of what they were given at WWE. I think people are just so afraid that they're going to go to a different company and it's going to be more of the same, and that they won't be used properly. And then people who were there before, who were getting TV time and get more opportunity, who are getting pushed back because these other wrestlers are coming in, they won't get a chance to shine. I can see that part of it, but in the grand scheme of things, it's like signing the best free agents. Like, you have to do it if you have the salary cap.
And that's part of the kind of toxic thing that WWE has done, right? It's like, okay, we're going to bury these guys for these guys, and you can't really trust the process, and you can't trust the long-term storytelling. But in their short history so far, AEW has done nothing but see stories through, pay them off in the end, and reward their fans. I don't think you're not going to see Darby Allin all of a sudden fall off the card. You're not going to see MJF fall off. You're not going to see Kenny Omega or the Bucks or anybody else just disappear and get pushed aside for some talent that came in later from another company. You're just not going to see it. And you've got these guys. The first thing that guys like Punk and Danielson are doing is putting over that younger talent, whether it's in promos or in matches in Punk's case. you know, they're gonna. That's kind of what they're there for, because they see a lot of themselves in these guys, and they want them to succeed just as much as they want to succeed.
Absolutely.
Because when they all succeed, then the company's going to succeed.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Punk even said, I saw his interview on ESPN. They're asking him why did he go to AEW, and he's like, one of the reasons I went is because everything that happened with Brody last year. He was sick for months. Nobody said shit. Like, nobody said a word, and they just let Brody kind of have his last days in privacy and everything. And he's like, that was really impressive, because any other locker room, it's going to get out. Especially
to pull that off in this day and age just shows how tight knit and how much everybody cares about each other.
Something special to have. So I disagree with anybody who's on the internet. So anybody who's getting on the Facebook groups and is like, you know what? Just stop, man. Just let them do what they're going to do and just enjoy the ride, man. Like, nobody cares about your opinion that they signed so-and-so person. And I'm not saying that Cole and Brian or Punk or so-and-so person, but no one cares that wrestler who you like from AEW Dark is not going to be on Dynamite anytime soon because they have bigger talent. They'll get there. You just got to let them work, man.
Yeah. AEW fans don't mind it. It's fans from the other promotion who are trying to, but it's like, hey, if you don't want to watch it, or if you don't like it, shut the fuck up and just don't watch it. Watch your part. Wrestling is subjective, just like music. Like, you know, I get that there's people that like the WWE product. I personally don't at this moment. They turned me off over the past year and a half. I just don't tune in. AEW gives me what I found and used to go to New Japan for, which I still do. But they give it to me in more of in North America, right? Yeah. So it's like, I get my wrestling fix from those two promotions. I don't need that over there. Maybe you do. Maybe that's what you're into. And that's fine. There's no wrong answers in this. You can like what you like. Just like what you like, and don't hate on something else because you either don't want to like it or don't want it to succeed because it's not your favorite promotion.
And that's so the bottom line.
Bro, that's so Super Nintendo is better.
Like, Sega Genesis is better.
What come on, you guys in?
It has
What's the same argument? You're right.
Welcome to the next level, buddy. Bro. Sonic, Blue Blur,
Blast Processing. We've got blast processing.
What is that? We have Final Fantasy VII, huh?
What is blast processing?
3, my bad.
Child.
They don't know.
They don't even know what blast processing does.
They just know it sounds cool.
Yeah.
So
sound chip.
Let's do an abbreviated gauntlet here, Bane.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit you up to throw Tim the first question whenever you're ready to pitch it.
Ooh, okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. We kind of just talked about one of these, but I guess let's start with who, and we're talking in all of wrestling history.
Okay.
Had the best debut any company.
Best is subjective. So I'll give you my favorite.
Exactly debut. However you feel.
My favorite debut was when Jericho showed up on Raw for the first time.
It's a good one.
That
classic.
As a WCW Jericho fan, when he came out, I've rewatched that debut probably more than any other wrestling moment ever, probably. And just the fact that they had him go toe to toe with Rocky right out the gate, and the pop and just the energy, it was unbelievable. So I'll go with that one.
Because it could have been a burial as well. Like Rock was coming at him with both barrels, and it was just like
Rock was being Rock in that promo. He wasn't like, okay, I gotta let him get his stuff in and let him be like, nah, man. He let him have it, and Jericho just went along with it.
He just held his own. Yeah, he just stood his ground with us.
So I'll go Jericho debuting on Raw.
All right. Hyphen, what you got? Best debut.
You actually took my answer, Tim, because that Jericho promo, it was pretty pitch perfect, man. And especially with the vignettes of the timer, the
timer,
and nobody knew what it was, and they kept showing it for weeks and weeks.
Give
and
me the
weeks.
dumbest sound you can find and put it on the Y2J.
And then when that clock hit
Countdown.
0, and that screen opened up and it said Jericho, I was like you, Tim. I love the cruiserweights. It was some of my favorite wrestlers from WCW, like Eddie, Dean, Jericho, Mysterio Jr. Then, I loved all those guys. So to see Jericho be the one to really come across first, and like, yo, they're really treating him like a big name. And that promo with Rock was just fire.
Yeah.
So that's my answer as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the guy who gave us two.
Ooh.
In two different companies in the 90s. Razor Ramon, just on Superstars, after having seen all the vignettes of him like at the Cuban restaurants and just chilling, and the one where he's sitting at the restaurant and the guy asks him to pay the bill, and he like, what? Like he like freaked out. He's like, oh, you want me to pay the bill? Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'll tell you what. How about I help you out here? How about I clear the table? And he like throws all the shit off the table. He just throws a tantrum because the dude brings him a bill. It's like, yes, all right. But then when he shows up, he's Razor Ramon. He's Scott, bro. Like he was huge. I had no idea
Monster.
that when he came out there, he was gonna be so monstrous. And the ladies were reacting because it's just like anytime a dude comes out and he's, especially like when they're a heel and you see women like react, it's always hilarious because they just be like, oh, the thirst, like it doesn't stop, like so his debut. And then of course seeing the Razor's Edge for the first time, it was just like, dog, who is this guy? Like, and this was just on Saturday Morning Superstars, like where you made your debut back in the day.
Back in the day, yep.
Once you went up to New York, they probably put you on a Superstar or something, or maybe even a wrestling challenge, but more than likely he was going to be on Saturday Morning. And then, of course, as Scott Hall, WCW, we talked about it before. You want a war? Like, I was just like, dog, with that. Wait, what? Because I was a mark and I had the dirt sheets to be like, hey, Scott Hall's probably going to make his way to WCW pretty soon. I was like, how about that? Okay. And then he comes out there and I was like, holy shit, but he works for Vince still.
Right.
Oh, this is sick, bro.
Right, yeah. And you're like, oh, it's like him, the guy, he's using his name and like he's just wearing denim. This is like what
he's just wearing denim.
He's just here to fight everybody.
So much
that was that feeling, right?
Every time, like, we're supposed to believe, oh, it's a street fight, and Shawn Michaels show up in them tight ass Wranglers. Like, oh shit, he about to scrap. Oh, it ain't no rules in this match. Shawn Michaels came out here with the Cowboys on.
Yeah, man. That's like when Punk and Jericho had their street fight like years ago. Like it was 2012. I mean, Punk came out and he had on like the Misfits shirt and the torn jeans and stuff, and they had like kendo stick. I'm like, come on, Punk. Come on, dude.
You're gonna have a no holds barred match. That means you're both gonna be wearing jeans,
regular clothes for both of you.
regular clothes,
And if it's Vince,
whatever
he just
you'd
wears
wear
a
to the
sweats.
grocery store.
Right.
Wears that same sweatsuit.
Yeah, weak ass sweatsuit. Do-rag. Vince used to come out there with the sweatsuit, like, yeah, I got a match.
Oh, I love it.
I'm about to beat your ass.
All right.
You're going to join the
what you
Kiss
got?
My Ass Club.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's go with what chant would you like to start at a live show? And it can be one you've already started since you were just at a live show. Tim.
Oh man. What chant would I want? Oh, it was at All Out. It was "Fuck 'em up, Eddie. Fuck 'em up."
You started that one?
I was in the beginnings of that. Yeah. Even at the beginning of the match, right when the bell rang, it was quiet. I yelled out, "Fuck him up, Eddie!" Like so.
Hell yeah.
Then that I think that chant happened multiple times in that match, to be honest. So I'll go with that.
Okay. Handsome one.
Chant. I would. Oh, have one specifically. I have to do this. So the New Day podcast, if you listen to it, I mean, sure, I guess you can help a brother out. They can listen to New Day.
That's 2 plugs today, man. You're in a good mood.
Whew, yeah.
I'm being very magnanimous right now, but I say all that to say that Big E has like in the beginning of most episodes, he has a diatribe about how he used to be Big E Langston, and that his name was stolen from him, and his history was erased and all that. He goes on this whole thing where it's just like, you're not lying, but he says like his dream is to like get his. He said he was like is willing to trade in the money in the bank to get his last name back. And he's like, but he was like, it was a strong name, and men would salute, and their hands would be so straight, the fingers would bend at a 90-degree angle because they had so much respect for the power in that name. And I would like to start a Langston chant. Like,
I love that.
Nice.
I would love to start. And it's a whole thing where you say you pound every syllable, so it's Langston, and then on the break, you salute with your hand so straight, and then you go back to Langston. Langston.
Nice.
So I would really like to get that started.
Oh wow.
Then we'll have to crowdsource getting that name back.
Shout out to Big E Langston.
Man.
Shout out to Big
monster back then.
Shout out to Big E just for being an incredible human being.
Seriously.
All right, like
that's why he's in the Hall of Fame.
Come on, yes,
he's
well
so
deserved.
Good. My answer is it's going to be for my favorite wrestler that is in WWE right now, and it would be for Becky Lynch. And I just want to get that Big Tom Bex chant going, man. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now, because she hasn't really had a real match. So I would love to be there and be like Big Tom Bex, Big Tom, just kind of even though she's healing up. I think that would be kind of cool.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Big Time Bex I think it's better than the man, because then what does that leave for me? If you're the man, how I'm gonna be?
Why don't you
what am
wrestle
I?
Why don't you wrestle her to
What
see,
am I? What's that gonna make me when I'm thinking about you in my silent moments? I'm thinking about a man again,
bro. Fuck you, Seth. He's never coming on this show. Damn it. Damn it.
Yeah, he did kind of siege your girl up. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing like that day that I heard the rumor that Cena was messing with Carmella that one time, though. I was not happy about that.
Yuck.
I was cussing.
Yuck to both of that.
Well, Cena just was getting everything he wanted at the time. I was like, why is he getting Carmella? That's messed up. But then it turned out to be Corey.
I don't care about Carmella.
She had her little
Corey.
heel run a few years ago.
Gross.
I enjoyed it. I don't really care that much about her now.
Yeah.
I was more upset how Mickey James, the mess that got started up behind Mickey James and how they did her.
They did her dirty.
That was bad.
Girl grimy again.
Again, yes.
Yeah. It's like I would never go back if I was Mickey James, bro.
Never.
The thing is, though, I feel like she totally will be in a WWE ring again.
She would. Yeah, I think she'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all wishful thinking aside. Here's one we never asked.
Okay.
What is your favorite spooky gimmick?
Ooh.
Favorite spooky gimmick. Favorite spooky. Okay, let me think of spooky gimmicks. I mean, I feel so. Undertaker's default answer, right? Like,
I mean, yeah, that's kind of the basic answer. So
it's kind of the basic.
That is the
We're
pumpkin
not-
spice of answers.
I mean,
we are not basic batches. We are not basic batches. So we're gonna find other spooky gimmicks to talk about. Actually, I should put other than the Undertaker. What's your favorite spooky gimmick? That's what the question
there
should
we
be.
go. There's the question. Yeah, you're spitballing.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're workshopping.
Punch
We're
that one up.
workshopping everything.
Thank you.
Favorites, because I've never really been into like the spooky like the spooky stuff.
Know.
Like that's kind of not really my thing. Like, although, you know, Boogeyman, when you're a kid, would scare the shit out of you with those worms.
My little brother fucking loved Boogeyman
that
for
shit.
some reason.
But like, yeah, I'm like
Like,
this
why?
motherfucker's fuck. Like, it was that was less spooky to me and more like, this motherfucker's crazy.
This
Like,
motherfucker is playing Fear Factor right now.
like just because he wants to. Like,
He's just
okay,
walking
like,
around saying, "Oh, it's Fear Factor, nigga. What up?" Like, shit. All right. I love worms.
I mean, like when the Fiends, like, to be, you know, kind of more current, when the Fiends started getting too spooky, I was just like, no. Like, it was cool and different at first, so spooky's not really my thing. So I guess my favorite would be Boogeyman for that answer.
Yeah.
I guess I got to go with that, because anything that that Prince Devitt did in New Japan wasn't really spooky when he came out. It was just kind of more, you know, when he did the body paint and did the kind of, you know, coming out of coffins and stuff. That really wasn't spooky. It was just kind of more like, for that moment, what it was. So
I was like, oh shit, you doing? I think he did the Jack the Ripper.
Yeah, the Jack
I was
the
like,
Ripper one.
holy shit! I'm like, bro, this is problematic.
Yeah, that wasn't spooky to me. I'm like, this is kind of, you know, this is something else. So yeah, I'll go Boogeyman.
Okay, that was gonna be my answer, because I honestly just never.
Dude.
I was totally grossed out by Boogeyman, but at the same time, I can't think of anything that disturbed me on that kind of level other than Boogeyman. So. Boogeyman was gonna be my answer too, because he freaked me the fuck out. And I was old and I still didn't like him, man. It's like, I don't get it. I don't get what y'all see in this dude.
Mine, other than Taker, almost a little more than Taker, because his shit was getting results. Papa Shango.
Ah,
Yeah.
You know, and shout out to Charles Wright.
Shout out to Charles
you know,
Wright, man.
Big shout out.
Who you know,
Does our promo.
Rasslecast Hall of Fame. I mean, the Rasslecast promo.
Absolutely.
Brought to us by Charles Wright. And I mean, if you're facing the Godfather, and he's offering you a night out with his sex workers, all human trafficking, all human trafficking aside,
absolutely.
Why do you decide? No, I mean, especially if it's not for a title, who doesn't take that? Like, what idiot virgin doesn't take that?
Somebody who's there to fight.
Just fuck off.
Oh, come on, man. You can fight another day.
There's so many nights he come out
come
and do
back to that.
and it'd be the baddest dude, like somebody who's always beaten, and then they look at the girls like, all right, let's go.
I used to love when they went with the girls, because he did. I used to love when they would pick the girls, because Godfather never like betrayed them after that. He was a man of his word.
Nah, he was like, cool, let's go. Let's go burn one.
So I'm like, no, Godfather's the coolest. Like,
what an easy night too, man. Unless he has to work like a
pacifist.
Yeah.
Godfather was almost a pacifist.
All right, Charles, why don't you go out there and offer him the hose, and tonight he's gonna take him. Like,
oh, sweet.
Oh, nice.
Like, I don't.
Hell yeah.
I don't gotta get physical at all.
That shit's dope.
I'm still getting paid.
I'm still getting paid when
let's go.
Yeah, that shit's amazing, dog. Yeah, that's one of the greatest gimmicks. So, yeah. Best spooky gimmick, The Godfather. You know what I'm saying?
If you're looking at it from the sex worker's perspective, it could be spooky.
It's horrifying.
Yes,
terrifying. But yeah, no, just the well, I mean, with Papa Shango, fucking great.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah, you know, making Warrior throw up and the black goo coming from his house. Like, oh man, they made me believe in. Oh no, wait, witchcraft is real.
It has to be real.
Voodoo is real. And you're like, all right, bro. Like, yeah, man, that shit was dope. The fucking going into a trance and looking at the fucking skull on the. Oh man, smoking skull too.
That was a good
amazing,
one,
bro.
That's a great answer.
Fucking Papa Shango.
Shout out to Papa, man. Good stuff.
He could beat your ass too.
Yeah, you would.
It's like, why are you using voodoo to enhance your chances, bro? Like, you're tough. You're tough, scary
he's
man.
He's a tough son of a bitch. That's good shit. And he's scary. Boom. That bass would hit so hard.
Oh, that shit was
That's
funky.
funky.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was.
God damn, this is funky. Like,
Play that Godfather music. I'm about to leave for the night.
it's like he got a right.
Linda, get in the car.
That's shag carpeting in your deuce and a quarter.
That's Boogie Nights all the way.
Music.
Man.
Yes.
That's disco mirror rear view mirror disco ball.
Yes.
Yep.
100%. That's incredible.
Right? Yeah. For anybody who's since we have a music guy on the show, here's a quick music lesson. All bass guitar riffs are just a series of beat, baints, and barrels. If you can master your arrangement of beat, baint, and barrels,
You've got it. You've nailed it. Nailed it down.
the
You
bass.
make a living as a bassist.
There it is.
Beat, 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 barrel. Like you put that shit right where it's supposed to go. That's just dope.
Hell yeah, man. Melissa was
That
right.
shit
We
is
were going to end up
fire,
doing a
bro.
musical episode now. It's crazy.
I mean, we've done music episodes, but like, yeah, we didn't get a chance to like really fool around with it. We
Right.
were all business on that.
Yeah, we were very businesslike. So,
We was
Tim,
getting to the shits.
Yes.
now we are going to go into the Rasslecast Power Hour Hall of Fame induction ceremony,
Ooh.
where
okay.
you get to choose one wrestler to
One.
go into our sacred Hall of Fame. Now,
Hang
there is
on.
a Rotten Piss Hall of Fame as well for shitty people and
Wow,
wrestlers.
I didn't think we needed to call upon that right now.
I just want to tell them like that we
Give
have
them the options, I guess.
Well, I just want to tell them that New Jack's in there because New Jack is trash.
There is a Hall of Shame, and the Hall of Shame, once one passes on, they're eligible for the Rest in Piss wing of the Hall of Shame.
And that's
But
only New Jack.
That's a very sad corner in pro wrestling, which we don't like to visit very much on this show.
Yeah,
We
let's
like
stay
to
out of
talk
there.
about.
We just want to make sure we let people know.
Rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we're here to talk about the cream of the crop.
yes.
So
So, Tim,
when you are ready,
Yes.
let us have it.
So, I've got two in mind. And both are gentlemen who we have mentioned on this episode, oddly enough. So it kind of works out that way. And I was leaning one way, and I was almost certain I was going to go with it. But now that we've come to the moment, I think I have to put this certain individual in because he is the creator of a certain club that I am affiliated with and is the OG. So
OG. Sorry.
I would like to nominate into the Hall of Fame one Prince Devitt.
Let's go. Let's go.
so shall it be.
I love that.
Gotta give it to him. It's just, I feel like I got to give him his due. I don't know if many others, other guests will. So I would like to give him his induction and give him his flowers for all the work he did in New Japan and in kind of changing the game before
Special
a
place
lot
in
of
my heart,
others.
man.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to get that full story, if again, like we get wrestling fans of all
Walks of
variations and walks of life, and you have different hopping on points, and maybe you've seen Prince Devitt only as Finn Balor, and you've got some pretty good wrestling. I'll tell you that. You can't deny that at all. But if you miss Prince Devitt, okay, you can obviously go back and check it out. But if you just want like kind of like an overview of a really good overview on YouTube, again, I shout out Wrestling Bios a lot.
Oh yeah, they're really great.
Which is fucking.
He's
great.
really great, honestly.
He's
I think
super
one
good.
man.
But another, I don't know what it is. If it's just like these Irish guys and just are like super good. Like the way they like their reviews on things I don't know. I've just been finding like Irish and Scottish people on YouTube. Everybody that I like check out. I'm going to talk about Eye Patch Wolf. Eye Patch Wolf has a thing where he talks about. He gives you a full rundown. It's so fucking good. Like he's really good with his reviews and his recommendations as well. So he does like a series on Bullet Club, like from beginning to, pretty much present. But the one that he does where he gets into the Prince Devitt chapter of it all, it's incredible. And then, he talks about Kenny and Ibushi. Was that might have been his Pro Wrestling is Fascinating video, one way or the other. He talks about golden lovers and stuff like that, and it's just like, I mean, I'll be honest, I wasn't like up to snuff on a lot of that, but it'll catch you right up. It'll catch you up, and you'll be like, man, this is fucking great. Like whole the golden lover stuff, man. Just the selling and the when they show the match where he hops up on the ring apron to get involved in the match with AJ. Mm-hmm. He doesn't. But it buys AJ enough time to, oh my God, the storytelling. The
storytelling is incredible. But anybody curious about Prince Devitt, you can do some digging, do some Google searches, YouTube searches, learn about Bullet Club, and a lot of people now I think are familiar with Bullet Club, but they aren't really up to breast on the history and the creation and how. How Devitt and Fale. Shout out to my boy Fale. I love Fale. He's one of my favorite. Fale is one of my favorite human beings on this planet. I love that man. But those two and their dynamic, and then Carl and Tama and Doc eventually, and then branching out and getting big and becoming the kind of cultural moment that they were with the t-shirts and with everything else, and how it just kind of continued to build upon itself.
Still one of my favorite shirts I own.
Oh, 100%. But yeah, go do some Bullet Club history, watch some old Devitt matches. And
you have to shoot me a link for that, Bane, because I want to check that out.
No, yeah, for sure. I'll just shoot you. Yeah, I'll send you just this guy, because he's pretty good with all of his stuff. Oh yeah, when he gets in depth about Bullet Club. And especially like the early Prince Devitt and Fale days, where he's fucking walking around with them on his shoulders. I was like, bro, that's all. He's like fucking gloating from the top, talking about some bitch.
It is what it is, man. Those are glory days.
So great, so great.
So, there was something else that I wanted to ask you, Tim. Okay. You had mentioned it on the podcast a little bit.
No, hold on, brother. Yeah, you thought you were going to get away. You thought you were going to get away with this, man. Brother. Let's bring in the real champ, man. See, I got creative control now, brother.
When did you get creative control?
Yeah, man, I'm a slick bastard, man. Everybody's gushing over. Now, hold on, shut up. Motherfucker. It's my time, man. It's my time. I told you, man. I was not happy last week when a white woman was supposed to vote me in, man. I was a shoe-in, brother.
Obviously.
I was a shoe-in, brother.
Uh-huh.
And she stabbed me in the back, man.
As you deserved.
Like everybody does me, man. Fucking tugboat turned on me, brother. Son of a bitch, man. Tugboat? Come on, man. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, Bullet Club. Those dirty sons of bitches stole our Too Sweet, man. And they go around here.
Y'all stole it from New Japan first, though. Technically.
No, did we?
You stole it from Click?
Did we?
I think Click was the first, technically.
Well, and then, I got actual permission from the guys, man.
From the guys.
But anyway, I'm here to pitch my bitch about not being in the Hall of Fame again, man. Again, brother. And who's this guy? Tim, man.
He's a producer of dope beats, and he's my friend.
Oh, that would explain it, then, brother.
Yeah, he likes me, and I know how you feel about me.
Dope beats, man. That what passes for wrestling work these days, man.
That's who's calling shots now.
God damn it.
I would say I apologize, but I'm not sorry.
So, I mean, it's fine, man. Could you make a beat for me and Snoop Dogg? My friend Snoop Dogg, man. That's my guy. He has never turned his black back on me, man. And, he's out there crip walking it up, man. And I can't do it because of my hips, brother. But if I could, I would, man.
Oh, man.
I've been thinking about changing from the red and yellow. Nah, I'm lying. Anyway, man, I just wanted to express myself. Thank y'all for giving me the chance to air my grievances, man.
You're welcome, Hulk. As always.
I'm in therapy, brother.
You're not in therapy because you never go.
Did somebody give him?
I have a podcast, man. That's what I'm doing for my therapy, man. I'm just sitting alone with my thoughts and a Word document, man.
What kind of word is it? Is it like Word 98 or something?
Yeah. The Clippy guy comes out, man. He asks me if I need help. And I do, man. I do. That's why I'm in therapy, man.
Do you need help with your margins and your?
That's why I'm doing the pod, spacing, man. So check it out, brother. Hogan.
You don't even know what it's called.
It's Coking with Hogan, man. It's me, my buddy Angel. Whenever he comes over, we fire up the. Anyway, man, that's it. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, Hulk.
Oh, man. My cheeks hurt.
Oh, shit.
I hate him so much.
Why, dog?
What do you mean, why? Because I'm always the one that's stuck with the one getting berated.
That's it, man. I keep...
You never get yelled at.
But I listen to it on the show, and I tell you,
like you never stick up for me. You always duck out and just let them get on the microphone.
Man. That should be. I'll do better next.
No, you won't. You be taking a powder and stuff. For getting in his powder.
Oh, God, man. That Angel is a scumbag.
You make me
the worst.
Yeah, that kid sold me some pretty bad crack.
I hate it when that happens.
All right.
Well,
damn, man.
I mean, Tim, after that.
After all that.
My question I have for you real quick before we get out of here.
Yes.
You mentioned something about a certain gentleman named Simon in what culture?
Yes.
Didn't you have some kind of experience with him that I said save it for the wrestling pod, and now we're here?
I think I did. I mean, I think it had to do with the block party, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Being at the block party, and it was funny because so we're all upstairs, and Tom and the boys are doing interviews and that whole sort of thing, and then there's a group of maybe like 5 or 6 of the What Culture guys there. And Phil, I remember it was Phil. Phil had a beer. Phil had a glass. And
Phil had a beer.
He got kind of mouthy and he threw it down and glass shatters, right?
Damn. Okay.
And then Tama just takes off after him. Boom, running. And they're
not someone I want chasing me.
They're running down the thing. So I'm standing off to the side with Tama and T's sister. And we're just talking, just having conversation. And then Pops, Haku, was out on the balcony.
Okay, I did see this.
Okay. So Haku's out on the balcony. And
most dangerous man in the business, by the way.
Most dangerous man in business. However, like
sweetheart,
the sweetest
man,
guy.
Dog.
The sweetest guy. This man.
That's the way to be.
They're taking a family photo after everybody had left. Like the block party is done. We were just all hanging out, like shooting the shit. and they're getting ready to take a family. Somebody said family photo, and everybody gets the family. I was like, ooh, I'll take it real quick. Like, I'll be the guy that takes the picture, right?
You
so
were that close to it.
I go to take the picture, and Haku goes, no. He goes, Tim, you get in this photo right now.
You do anything that Haku tells you.
And he just grabs me with his just like bear paw of a hand and just pulls me in and just pulls me into this family photo. And I was like, it was my favorite. It's my favorite moment with him ever, period. Like, and it probably always will be. But I was like, that's so cool. Like, I was like, oh, I'll take the picture. He's like, no. And he yelled at me. Yeah. I'm going to take the camera. I'm like, okay, yes, sir. And then I like back up, and then I like, go over there.
He's like, bro.
And he looks at me. He looks at me like, take the picture. He's like, you're in the picture. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. But anyway, so
damn.
So the fight begins, and Pops comes tearing. Because he doesn't know what he hasn't seen anything. He hears glass break, comes tearing around the corner. And Thomas' sister looks at me. She's like, what the fuck? She's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I was like,
Dad is about to kill a guy.
And I was like, I go, well, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a work.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, oh, okay. And she goes, does Dad know it's a work? And I go, yeah. Wait.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, he's got an, I'm sure oh, shit. And just run, taking off. And we're like, we got to stop this man before he kills somebody. Suffice to say, we did not make it in time. Mm-hmm. And Mr. Simon Miller almost got his head punched the hell off his shoulders. So
wow.
That was kind of I think that was probably the story that I was referencing.
I saw that video and was thinking like it's a work, but then I was like, I saw Haku's face and was like, oh, Haku does not know that it is a work, dog. Like, oh no.
No.
Because Simon was just kind of like, I don't know what he thought he was getting though. If you're in the same building as Haku and you're gonna do a thing where somebody's fighting, and he's not gonna get involved, bro. Like he's known for that. Yeah. Like
that glass hit the ground and he was around. Broke interview right. Somebody was interviewing him on the balcony, and there was a wall, so you couldn't. There was two ways out on the balcony. There were glass doors, but there was a wall, so he couldn't see what was going on. This man heard glass break, and within a second was tearing around the corner, just running at whatever was going on. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's going to kill him.
God. Yeah, I've always before that, like just you describing the picture, I would love to meet Haku and to have that moment where you feel like you're in danger, but you're totally not. Like, I want him to like rib me to where it's like, I want him to rib me like he's going to fucking kill me, and then it like not happen, and it's like, that's kind of like my weird, like whatever mark out fantasy that I have about Haku. Like, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this because it's our show. I just need the okay from my partner here. I'm going to induct Haku into the Hall of Fame. He's a fucking Hall of Famer.
I second that.
I will third it, fourth it, fifth it, all the way.
Welcome to the Hall, Haku.
Get Haku in there, man.
I know why you're doing this for real though, because I'm just waiting for somebody to come back and start yelling at me again.
No, fuck that guy.
And so he's like,
no, fuck that guy. Yeah. Which I mean, honestly though, I feel like if we had Haku on the show, he would induct him. Probably. I feel like he would induct him, and then we just have to sit there and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything now.
I just cross my fucking legs, like, all right.
He'd be the one guy where you'd be like, yeah, you know what? All right, it's fine. Yeah, it's fine. That's all right.
Like, comes through your fucking screen, But yeah, I mean, come on, dog. Like, he's known for this, and has the best. I mean, like, everybody loves a good fight story, and he has several of them, and
so many.
And it would be different if he was like a jackass again. Like you would, if he was I'm just gonna name a name. I don't know, JBL.
There you go.
Jackass.
It's like a guy that you want to see get his face blown out. Sure, but like hearing like stories of like Barbarian being there with him, and then and seeing the fight pop off, and then look over, and they're like, "Aren't you gonna go help your friend?" And he was like, "Oh, it's only 5 guys. It's fine.
He's good."
It's like,
Only
no, he's
5
good. It's only
guys.
5 guys over there.
No big
No.
deal.
No, he's all right. Yeah, yeah. Fucking throwing a guy out of the window.
Yeah. Living legend in every sense of the
Absolutely.
word.
I just want to
as a
ensure
badass
that,
and as a human.
yeah, I just want to ensure that he gets his flowers as well. From us.
Flowers received.
Amen to
So
that.
you call Haku when you get off the phone, get off with us, Tim, and be like, "Hey, you just got inducted into Rasslecast Power Hall of Fame." Just let them know.
I'll tell you what. Next time that I do talk to him or see him, I will let him know he has been inducted into your Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I
Nice.
promise I will do that.
Thank you. That's quite the honor.
I don't know when that'll be, but I will make sure that
I have a feeling it'll happen eventually, though, because you're in the family picture.
There you go.
Mhm,
You're in the
mhm.
family picture. So, Tim, what do you want to let the people know about you before we get on up out of her?
Oh man, I feel like they probably know enough about me.
Well, where can they find you? Is
Yeah.
probably
They
the-
can, yeah, there we
the
go.
operative
They
question. There
can,
we go.
if any of you would like to follow me on any of the social media platforms, you can follow me on Instagram at no.name.Tim. You can follow me on Twitter.
Oh,
which
happy
is-
belated birthday, by the way. I just
Thank
hit
you.
me.
Hey,
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you. On Twitter, I'm no_name_Tim because they won't let you use periods on your Twitter name.
Yeah.
And somebody has no name Tim, somebody with no posts and no followers.
Oh,
like-
that's the worst.
And I can't get it from them on both platforms.
There is a
Somebody's
B
got it with
Hyphen
nothing.
on
Worst.
Instagram, and there is 2 photos of a middle-aged lady at the beach,
Right.
and she hasn't posted in like 10 years, and I can't.
But,
nothing to do about it.
but yeah, you guys can follow me there.
Boom.
I'm not as active on Instagram as I used to be, and my Twitter has honestly been taken over by professional wrestling, and people following me on there and contacting me on there
Nice.
and that sort of thing,
Yeah, that's cool.
which I'm totally fine with. I really don't post a lot of my music stuff on there. Yeah, listen to Kofi on Spotify, Apple Music. He's got a project that just came out this summer.
hmm
100 Dark Nights. I'm on that.
Yeah, you are.
We've got his album on the label coming soon. I think he's got a date for it now. I can't say it because it's his to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen to Firing Squad, the entrance theme I did for G.O.D on all platforms.
Subscribe to this man's YouTube channel and listen to his beats and buy some of his
Yeah,
beats.
yeah.
'Cause
I've
they're
got
fire.
an instrumental EP on all platforms
Yeah,
too
you
called
do.
called 1984. It's based on my love of like 80s synths and movie soundtracks and scores. And yeah, be looking out for some new wrestling themes soon. I get asked by a lot of people very frequently if I have done more themes. Yes, I have. Am I working on more themes? Yes, I have.
Well, if
It's
you,
all
you ever
time-
need
it's all-
a rapper to hop
It's all
on there,
time. It's
who,
all
who
it's all
is it?
timing in this business. So
Very
just
famous,
you know,
Yeah,
but
buddy.
very dope. I will totally hop on there and rap for you, Tim. Just let me know.
I got you, man. I got you, man. But yeah, so those are pretty much my little mini plugs
There you go.
for all
You in
the wonderful listeners here of the Rasslecast Power Hour.
I'm so glad you were here, man. We had a lot of fun.
It was an honor. It was an honor to be here with you guys. I had a blast.
The door is always wide open for returns.
Mm-hmm.
There's only been one guy who has been excommunicated, and it's not Hulk Hogan.
No, it is
ironically
not.
enough. So,
Well, I'm always here. You know, I'm always a phone call away. I'm always down to talk wrestling and anything like that. And if the world opens back up to a certain extent a little bit, the plan was to go to Wrestle Kingdom this year. So would love to talk to you guys about that if and when it happens.
Oh.
If I don't have to quarantine for 2 weeks before
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's
gonna
kind
be
of the
something.
that's kind of the drag. If it gets to a point where it's like you don't have to quarantine.
Come on, man! You guys just had the Olympics there. Like, just let
then
us
I'll
watch
be
wrestling.
there. But no, seeing what the boys had to go to, they just went back to Japan to kick off the G1 and everything. Talking to them, and it's we've got X amount of days in the hotel, and then we've got to quarantine for another 11 or whatever it is at the dojo. So it's like. They've been there since the first and have been in quarantine ever since. So I'm like, man, I can't pull that trigger to come over there. So
it's a lot.
It's a lot. So hopefully it opens back up and we can discuss that show in the somewhat near future.
I would love to do that.
We'll do that away from the marks, not in front of the marks.
There we go. But any other time, dude, guys, I'd be happy to jump on here. So thank you again.
No problem, Tim.
I've just followed you on both the platforms, and I'll be hopping that. Well, I kind of am already following the music on Spotify because, again, it's great weightlifting music. It's very, very great.
Appreciate that.
Good for timing,
Yes.
Yes.
Beautiful. Our secretaries will see you out. Handsome Bane,
right.
You have anything else that you want to tell these sweaty marks before we depart?
No, I'll say homework for next week. To find out what it's like to love a woman, not just her body, but her mind, and her spirit. That's going to be the homework. You sweaty marks, don't fail me.
I'm going to try this one more time before we get out here. The best wrestling podcast there is, the best wrestling podcast there was, and the best wrestling podcast ever will be. I got it. I redeemed
myself.
myself.
Thinking about it he's been thinking about this whole episode.
That's why I've been so distracted.
Wrote it down.
Like,
yep.
I did. I totally wrote it down.
Fucking,
I'm sorry,
soul
Brett.
was heavy.
I'm sorry.
You redeemed yourself. It's all right.
Hey, I'm just happy to be here. I got excommunicated at the end of the last episode, so. I was like, hey, if I get the guest, can I still be your co-host? He's like, I guess.